Hello, my name is Earnest S. Wingo, CEO of SirCam Productions.
Are you ready?
SirCam Productions started late 2005, early 2006. During that time, late 2005, I was depressed. I had to move back into my mother's basement, and I remember New Year's Eve. I was sitting down in my mother's basement and I saw a manuscript and it said up one day, down the next. And I told myself, as the fireworks were going off on New Year's Eve, I told myself, you know what, I'm going to write this book. In 2011, 2012, I challenged myself in writing my first stage play called The Ties That Bind, which would later be published in 2013. During this process, I had just came off writing Scent of Jasmine. I was feeling good about that, and I got the vision of writing a stage play. You need to know, like, during this time that in Rockville, Illinois, the Tyler Perrys and the other playwrights of the world were not coming here. So it was a drought. So during that time, I was like, you know what? I want to put a stage play on with my people from here for the people. And we went on to do The Ties That Bind, which was spectacular. And, it was a challenging feat. And I could never take that memory back, because I remember before the play started, one of my co-members or co-laborers with me said, look out in the crowd. And I said, what? They said, look out in the crowd. You need to look at this crowd. And I figured it was like 100 people. And I was like, at the time, I was like, listen, if this is 100 to 50 people, I'd be happy. But as I looked out the crowd, the place was packed. And I knew we were on to something.
Believing this is the end. But can't you hear my voice saying, don't throw in the towel? It may feel impossible, but delay is not denial. I have you protected, surrounded in my hands of grace.
The lesson I learned from doing that play was anything's possible. This was really, even though it came out in 2013, it was really like a 3-year process. It was a maturation of me finding myself creatively in another realm, and also seeing what could happen when you put a team, because this is the first time I had ever put a team together and had to work collectively as a team. So after Ties That Bind, we go back in 2014 and we do The Ties That Bind Reloaded, as I say, and just knock it out the park, just better than ever. Don't get me wrong, I love my baby the first time, but this one was more professional, more critique, more, we put more thought into this one. We made sure that we dotted every I and we crossed every T. After the success of The Ties That Bind and The Ties That Bind Reloaded, I was just on a roll, like, what are we going to do next? What are we going to face next? And what I wanted to do, I wanted to go back to the church that I was currently serving, Hope Fellowship Church, and we wanted to do a play called The Gift of Hope, which we did in 2014, which was a huge success because it was challenging, and it was a huge success because we took church elements and real elements for life and just do it the way that we know how to do it. I always say that when you come to plays that we do, we're not going to just preach Jesus, Jesus, Jesus and sing 4 songs and you go home. It's going to be raw. It's going to be out the box. During this period, I get a call from my good friend Larry Hamilton, pastor of Second Christian Church, that he wanted to do a play. We did a collaborative effort called Broken, which we did at West Middle School here in Rockville, Illinois. And it was a very rewarding experience, a very challenging experience, but nevertheless, it was another play that we did and something we learned from. And I really enjoyed doing that play. The next play that we did was called Deception, and we did this in 2016 in June, and it was very challenging. And again, I know I keep saying that, but this one was extremely challenging because we put a lot of sweat equity period into this. Also, we had a guest feature by the name of James Fortune, gospel superstar, and we went out our element on this one on a lot of things. And that play really spoke to me because I spent a year and a half crafting that play, and it was really just a rewarding experience, and really just enjoying the process again of gritty writing and also having characters speak to you. What's next for SirCam Productions? Everything, movies, content, everything. I mean, I can't explain it to you right now, but we're still on the move. I had to take a hiatus, had to take a mental break. Sometimes as a writer, as a creative, you have to go live life and have to experience more things so you can incorporate it into your writing and it becomes stronger. So I think going forward, I understand I've learned a lot of lessons in business. I learned a lot of lessons from a creative standpoint. And so, like I said, SirCam Productions, these past 10, 11 years have been just some of the rewarding times of my life because it took me to a whole different level of my life. It helped me understand what was possible if you put the work in, if you write it down, write the vision down and make it plain. Things can happen beyond your wildest dreams.